For over 100 years, I've stood where history meets duty, silent, unshaken, and unbreakable. The guard's watch is not just a role. It's a sacred oath that has survived wars, revolutions, and the rise and fall of empires. In this realm, privilege holds no power. Here, respect is a fortress built stone by stone with discipline, humility, and honor. Today, on A1 Storyteller, we dive deep into a story that shatters illusions of entitlement, where even the boldest demands meet the unyielding stillness of tradition. Prepare yourself, because this isn't just a tale. It's a lesson carved in steel and silence. In the world of ceremonial guard duty, tradition is far more than mere ritual. It is the foundation upon which every action, every stance, and every salute is built. This tradition is not something that was invented recently or taken lightly. It is the product of centuries of history, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. Each guard who stands watch is not only a soldier, but a living symbol of the continuity of a nation's heritage. The role entrusted to the guard is one of immense responsibility. Every moment spent standing motionless, every gesture performed with precision, carries the weight of countless generations who have stood in that very position before. Duty and tradition are inseparable here. The guard's duty is not flexible, nor is it subject to personal whim or the influence of external pressures. It is a strict code that must be upheld regardless of circumstance. This duty commands the guard to remain vigilant and steadfast, to project an image of strength and resolve, and to serve as a visible reminder of the sovereignty and dignity of the institution they protect. This responsibility transcends individual identity. The guard is a representative of something far greater than themselves, a custodian of history and honor. Tradition guides not only how the guards conduct themselves physically, but also how they interact with others. There is a clear protocol that governs every encounter, ensuring that respect is maintained on all sides. This tradition ensures that the guard's role is never diminished or compromised. It is a reminder that the power they symbolize is not one of arbitrary force, but of lawful authority grounded in centuries of custom and ceremony. The guard stands as a testament to continuity, a living link between the past and the present, reminding all who witness them that some things must endure, no matter the changes around them. When tradition guides the guard's role, it ensures uniformity and consistency. This is why every guard dresses in identical uniforms, maintains the same posture, and follows the same precise movements. The purpose of this uniformity is to remove individuality, so the focus remains on the institution and tradition itself, not on the person behind the uniform. This reinforces the idea that the guard is part of an unbroken chain, a collective force of guardians whose purpose is to preserve dignity and order. The guard's role is also guided by an understanding that their duty is a solemn honor. It is not a task to be taken lightly or used for personal gain. This is why the conduct of guards is subject to strict codes of discipline. They are trained rigorously to embody professionalism, respect, and patience. Their vigilance is constant, and their resolve unwavering. This seriousness ensures that the tradition they uphold is respected by all, including those who visit or interact with them. When tradition guides the guard's role so completely, it becomes clear that their watch is about more than appearance. It is about preserving the essence of a nation's heritage through action, presence, and unshakable commitment. In some worlds, privilege can seem to operate as a kind of currency, a way to bypass rules, skip lines, or command attention without earning it. But in the realm where protocol is sacred, privilege holds no such power. The rules of protocol are not designed to be flexible or negotiable. They exist to maintain order, respect, and a consistent standard that applies equally to all who enter this domain. When a person enters a space governed by strict protocol, they enter a different kind of world, one where their usual markers of status or entitlement mean very little. Here, the rules are clear and immutable. They do not bend to favor those with wealth, influence, or fame. Privilege, which might carry weight in other contexts, is powerless in the face of protocol. This is not a matter of personal judgment or prejudice, but of preserving the integrity of the institution and the traditions it represents. Protocol is a system that ensures fairness and respect. It guarantees that everyone is treated according to the same standards, which is essential when the symbolism of the guard and the ceremony they perform carry national significance. To allow privilege to override protocol would undermine the very foundation of this system and erode public trust in its impartiality. Therefore, protocol must be observed without exception, regardless of who is present. The power of protocol lies in its universality. It levels the field so that no one person's status can disrupt the solemnity or dignity of the occasion. This universality is essential because it protects the tradition from being compromised by individual influence. When privilege is set aside and protocol reigns, the focus remains on the heritage, the ceremony, and the institution itself, not on the personalities who happen to be present. This strict adherence to protocol can sometimes create moments of tension or misunderstanding for those unaccustomed to it. Individuals who come from environments where privilege has granted them deference or special treatment may expect the same here. When they encounter the unwavering observance of protocol, they may feel surprised or even affronted. However, it is precisely this firm boundary that maintains the respect and discipline integral to the guard's role. The guard's refusal to acknowledge demands based on privilege is not an act of defiance or disrespect, but an affirmation of protocol. It is a declaration that in this space, tradition and order are paramount. This sends a clear message that the rules apply to all equally, and no one is above them. In this way, the guard embodies the principle that protocol is the true authority in this setting, not personal privilege. Understanding this principle is essential for anyone who approaches the guard or the institution they protect. Respecting protocol means recognizing that some rules exist beyond personal influence, beyond privilege, and beyond power. It means accepting that when tradition calls, all must answer in the same way. Respect is a currency that can never be forcibly taken or demanded. It is something that must be given freely and returned genuinely. Within the walls where guards stand watch, respect is not a matter of entitlement. It cannot be bought or assumed by virtue of position or wealth. Instead, it must be cultivated through humility, understanding, and proper conduct. Those who approach the guard or the institution they represent must recognize that respect is a two-way street. The guard's role is not to offer deference simply because someone asks for it, nor to bow to any expression of self-importance. Instead, respect is given to those who show reverence to the customs, who appreciate the significance of the role the guards embody, and who approach with sincerity. Commanding respect through demand creates tension and undermines the spirit of mutual dignity that is essential in ceremonial settings. It reduces what should be an honorable exchange to an act of assertion rather than appreciation. True respect flows naturally when individuals acknowledge the history, discipline, and solemnity represented by the guards. It is earned through awareness of the institution's importance, and by aligning one's behavior accordingly. This principle is vital because it preserves the authenticity of tradition. If respect could be commanded without merit, the guard's role would lose its meaning. The honor they bestow through salutes or acknowledgments must carry weight. It must symbolize genuine recognition, not mere response to a demand. This ensures that the ceremonial acts performed retain their solemnity and significance. To earn respect in this context is to demonstrate a willingness to set aside ego and entitlement. It requires understanding that the guard is not simply a figure to be admired, but a custodian of a legacy that deserves honor. Those who approach the guard must do so with humility, recognizing that their presence in this sacred space is a privilege, not a right. When respect is earned rather than commanded, it fosters an environment of mutual recognition. The guard acknowledges those who show proper decorum, and in turn, those visitors appreciate the gravity of the occasion. This exchange sustains the dignity of the tradition and strengthens the bond between past and present. The act of saluting is not a casual gesture. It is a formal symbol, deeply embedded in military and ceremonial tradition, and governed by strict regulations. In the context where the guards serve, salutes are given only when the established rules and conditions are met, never on personal whim or external pressure. These rules are in place to maintain consistency, discipline, and respect for the institution being represented. A salute is a sign of honor and recognition, and as such, it must never be diluted by arbitrary or improper use. The guards follow these rules meticulously, understanding that each salute carries symbolic weight and reflects the dignity of the institution. The circumstances under which a salute is appropriate are clearly defined and understood by those trained in this discipline. It might be to acknowledge a senior officer, to honor a flag, or to mark a particular ceremonial moment. These rules are unwavering and apply equally to all, reinforcing the principle that protocol is supreme. The refusal to salute outside of these rules is not personal or selective. It is an enforcement of tradition and discipline. This enforcement safeguards the integrity of the guard's role and ensures that their actions always reflect the solemnity of their duties. This strict adherence to rules means that any attempt to demand a salute outside of these boundaries will be met with silence or non-response. It signals that the guard's duty is to uphold tradition, not to serve individual desires or momentary displays of authority. The rules surrounding salutes are part of a larger system of ceremonial conduct that defines the guard's watch. They are designed to preserve order, respect, and clarity in every interaction. This system allows the guard to function as a symbol of enduring values and to maintain the public's trust in the institution they protect. Understanding and respecting these rules is essential for anyone who comes into contact with the guards. It shows an awareness of the seriousness of their duty and a willingness to honor the tradition that guides their actions. Those who fail to recognize these rules risk appearing disrespectful or ignorant, even if unintentionally. The guard's commitment to these established rules demonstrates their professionalism and dedication. By following them strictly, they communicate that the institution's values transcend individual preferences and that tradition must be preserved intact for future generations. The essence of a guard's duty lies in impartiality. This impartiality is not simply a policy or guideline. It is a fundamental principle that defines their entire role. Regardless of who approaches or interacts with them, whether it be a person of immense wealth, political influence, or high social status, the Guard maintains an unwavering neutrality. This ensures that no favoritism or bias undermines the sanctity of their position. Impartiality means that every individual is subject to the same standards and treatment. It ensures that the Guard's role remains one of consistent enforcement of tradition and protocol, not one of negotiation or personal judgment. In the presence of power, the Guard does not bend, nor do they show preferential treatment. This impartial stance protects the integrity of the institution and the respect it commands. This principle is crucial because it establishes trust in the public and among visitors. When the Guard treats everyone equally, it demonstrates that the traditions and rules they uphold are universal and not subject to manipulation. It reassures all who witness or engage with the Guard that the institution they represent is stable, fair, and principled. The ability to remain impartial is also a reflection of the Guard's discipline and professionalism. It requires training, self-control, and a deep understanding of the responsibility entrusted to them. Guards must set aside personal feelings, opinions, and any external pressures to carry out their duties consistently and without exception. Impartiality also serves as a powerful reminder that the Guard's allegiance is not to individuals, but to the institution and the tradition it represents. It underscores the idea that no individual's status can alter the course of the Guard's duty. This protects the institution from becoming a tool of favoritism or a stage for personal display. The impartiality of the Guard ensures that their actions are predictable and reliable. Those who observe or interact with them know exactly what to expect: respectful and precise adherence to protocol. This consistency is vital in preserving the solemnity and dignity of the institution and the traditions it embodies. Impartiality is also a safeguard against the corrosive effects of power and privilege. It reminds everyone, including those accustomed to special treatment elsewhere, that in this place, no one is above the rules. The Guard stands as a neutral force, enforcing equality through discipline and tradition. Discipline is the backbone of the Guard's role. It is what enables them to stand motionless for hours, to maintain perfect posture, and to perform each movement with precision and purpose. This discipline is not a temporary state or a casual effort. It is a cultivated and unbreakable commitment that defines their every action. The unwavering discipline of the Guard is a reflection of their training, dedication, and respect for their role. They undergo rigorous preparation to ensure they can meet the physical and mental demands of their duty. This training instills not only the necessary skills, but also the mindset required to uphold tradition without falter. Discipline ensures consistency. Every Guard must perform their duties identically, maintaining the high standards that have been set by generations before them. This uniformity reinforces the sense of order and respect that the institution demands. It prevents any lapse that might diminish the dignity or authority the Guard represents. This discipline also allows the Guard to maintain composure in the face of distractions or provocations. Whether confronted with crowds, weather, or unexpected interactions, the Guard's focus remains unshaken. Their ability to remain steady and controlled under pressure is a testament to the strength of their discipline. Unwavering discipline is essential because the Guard's role is highly visible and symbolic. Any deviation or break in their conduct could undermine the perception of the institution they protect. Discipline preserves the image of steadfastness and reliability that the public associates with the Guard. The mental aspect of discipline is as important as the physical. Guards must cultivate patience, resilience, and the ability to suppress natural reactions. This mental discipline ensures that they do not respond impulsively or emotionally, maintaining the professionalism required in their position. Discipline is also what empowers the Guard to uphold protocol without exception. It provides the foundation for their impartiality and their commitment to tradition. Without such discipline, the Guard's ability to enforce the rules and preserve the dignity of their role would be compromised. The unwavering discipline of the Guard serves as a reminder that their duty is not casual or symbolic alone, but a serious responsibility. It elevates their presence from mere ceremony to a powerful embodiment of order, respect, and continuity. The weight of history and the strength of legacy are forces far more enduring and commanding than any fleeting sense of entitlement. Within the sacred spaces guarded by those who stand watch, history is not simply a collection of dates or events. It is a living, breathing foundation that shapes every protocol, every gesture, and every stance. Legacy is the thread that connects generations, binding the past to the present and the present to the future. Those who come into this realm must understand that entitlement, whether born of privilege, wealth, or position, cannot overshadow the power of history. History demands respect because it represents the struggles, sacrifices, and triumphs of those who came before. Legacy carries with it the responsibility to preserve and honor what has been entrusted to each generation. Entitlement is transient, often based on personal gain or social standing. History and legacy, however, are collective and enduring. They belong not to individuals, but to the community, the nation, and the institution. These forces command reverence because they represent something greater than any one person's desires or demands. The Guards embody this principle by upholding traditions that have stood for centuries, regardless of who stands before them. Their role is to enforce the continuity of history and legacy, ensuring that entitlement cannot distort or disrupt the order that has been carefully maintained. This prioritization of history over entitlement safeguards the dignity of the institution and protects it from becoming a stage for transient power plays. It is a reminder that true authority arises from shared values and collective memory, not from personal privilege. Visitors who recognize the supremacy of history and legacy over entitlement show an understanding of the depth and seriousness of the tradition. They acknowledge that they are part of a continuum, not just individuals passing through a space. This awareness fosters respect and humility, reinforcing the sanctity of the Guard's watch. Humility is the gateway to respect and understanding within the domain guarded by those who stand sentinel. It is the attitude that enables one to approach not as a conqueror or a ruler, but as a guest in a sacred space. Without humility, even the most powerful presence risks appearing out of place or disrespectful. Entering this domain requires acknowledging that the rules, traditions, and roles in place are not designed to serve personal ego, but to preserve something far greater. Humility means accepting that one's status or achievements outside this realm do not grant special privileges here. It means recognizing the value of the institution and the Guard's duty to protect it. Humility also involves a willingness to listen and learn. It is the readiness to observe the customs and to appreciate their meaning, rather than dismiss them as outdated or irrelevant. Those who approach with humility demonstrate a respect that aligns with the solemnity of the setting. Without humility, there is a risk of arrogance that can lead to conflict or misunderstanding. Attempts to assert dominance or demand recognition based on personal importance clash with the spirit of tradition and can undermine the guard's role. Humility prevents such clashes by fostering a respectful interaction. The guards respond positively to humility because it reflects a genuine appreciation for the heritage they protect. It creates a connection between those who stand watch and those who enter the domain, based on mutual respect rather than power dynamics. This essential humility transforms the encounter into a meaningful exchange. It allows tradition to be honored and preserved, while welcoming those who understand the importance of their presence in this unique and hallowed space. When demands for honors or recognition come without respect for protocol, the response is measured and deliberate, silence and stillness. This calm, unyielding reaction is not an act of defiance, but a powerful affirmation of the guard's duty. It signals that honors cannot be forced or bought, and that respect must be mutual and earned. The guard's refusal to engage with improper demands protects the integrity of the tradition and upholds the dignity of their role. This quiet resistance reminds all that protocol governs these interactions, not personal privilege or entitlement. Tradition is sacred, a foundation upon which the identity and continuity of an institution rest. Preserving this sanctity means protecting customs, rituals, and roles from erosion by transient influences or personal agendas. The guard's unwavering commitment to tradition safeguards not only the past but the future, ensuring that the values and meanings embedded in these customs endure. This preservation is vital, for it keeps alive the collective memory and respect that define the institution's true power and legitimacy. This is a one storyteller, where every story stands guard over truth and honor. Remember, respect is earned, tradition is sacred, and discipline never fades. Stay vigilant, stay humble, and never forget. The watch never ends.